Well, all right. Good morning and welcome to my stream. I went ahead and decided that it was time to do the one-way challenge. So that's what today's stream is going to be all about. One way. We're going to do it in Coral Riches. And hey, good morning, Dustin. Good to see you. We're going to get started pretty quick here. And like I said, we're going to name this one Cindy. Let's see, Cindypeppenberg. We're going to use go North American and stick with natural disasters on. Everything else the same. We're going normal mode. And yeah, let's get going. So, all right. Well, here's my map. Now, I know a couple things from a couple test runs that I did. And so the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete this road because it's only a one-way city, right? Cindy Coil Reef City? Is that what you want? I'm gonna go with Cindypeppenberg for this one, but I may change that. So, wow, my chroma is really something else here with my camera, isn't it? Let me see if I can adjust that a little bit. You know what? We'll leave it alone for now. It'll clean up soon enough. Doesn't like my gray hair. We're not pros here, not quite yet. Something to work on next stream. Okay, so we've got a highway coming into town, and the good news about this here is that we can use wind turbines. So, as you know, I'm a favor, or maybe you don't know, I'm a favorite of wind power. So we're gonna make sure we can get 6 megawatts, which we can. We're gonna position this as far up on the edge of the city as possible, because these do make a little bit of noise. Just about right there. And as far as which way they're facing, I think they'll kind of face forward just like that. So we'll put that one there. I like to bury the power line, so we're going to drop that power line down. And eventually it'll connect to the rest of my city. So, all right. So to the one way, since we're a 2-lane road coming into town, we're going to stay a 2-lane road, and we're going to pull that ideally down to here. But before we do that, we're going to lay out our industry. So I'm going to go with grain farming, and I'm going to make sure that I can get a good amount of the map here with a nice sized farm. So we're going to make sure that that farm is somewhat parallel, which it is. And we're going to put that farm right there. This is going to give us a nice boost to start with when it comes to our economy. Now, one of the things you have to be aware of is because you're doing a one-way city, we need to make it so that when they come down, that they cut in front of this, right? And then this leads mostly to the industry side of things. So industry is going to be on this side. And let's get started. So my 2-lane road will drop down. It's not going to go all the way. I'm going to bring it down to about here. Yeah, we're going to go to there. Okay, and then from here, we're going to draw our 1 lane this way. And we're just going to do a small 1-way. And it's going to go this all the way out and then lead up, which eventually will connect with the rest of the industry. By the way, I'm not streaming for long today. I'll probably go an hour and then call it. So I'm going to start shoring up my streams a little bit and being a little bit more succinct. Try to keep the conversation going a little bit more, and at the same time, limit the time. So again, this will probably go about an hour. After that hour, what I'll do is I'll take this city and I'll post it up on my Paradox mod site. So if you want to take the city and give it a go from wherever I land off at, you can, and then that'll give you something to compare at, because then the next time when I play again, what I'll do is I'll take the same city, I'll take it from that save, and you know, if you want to see where you're at compared to where I'm at, that might be kind of fun. All right, so we're gonna put a sewage outlet up here for now. It's really not the best place because you can see it's gonna get caught up, but we'll hopefully replace that pretty quick with a water treatment center. But again, for now, this is just what we're gonna have to live with while we get things going. So there's our sewer pipe. Oh, didn't connect. What did we miss? Oh, I see. All right. Now we're connected. All right, so we've got our sewage. We're gonna get some water down. And I'm basically setting things up so that while I'm drawing out the rest of the roads, my industry can start to build. So we're just gonna come all the way down here for water. Make sure it's somewhat accessible. There we go. Again, we're back to one-way roads. We're gonna do a one-way dirt road. And we'll start about here. Right there. Okay, so let's make sure I've got my room here drawn out correctly. All right, so our limits are going to be right there. Okay. Kind of tells me how far I can draw that road, right? Okay, let's go right there. Okay, one way. Now we're here. Okay, so we want to flow, right? We want traffic to flow through. So when I'm drawing these roads out, you're going to notice that I'm going to be particularly interested in how things flow. And we may have to redraw roads if they're not flowing correctly. Okay, so from here, and this is where we'll end up eventually doing a bridge over the top, because I don't want to bring all traffic down all the way to here. So I'm going to come about right here. Oh, let me go over a little bit. Okay, so we're going to go here. You know, and I'm going to go ahead and make that a three-way to start, just because I know that it's eventually going to need that amount of size. You know, I really enjoyed the longer streams to some extent. And then at other times, you know, with some of that, I was kind of stepping away for a while, and where I think I can just not stream that content, and stream when I'm here, you know, when I'm here building things, when I'm here doing things, when I'm here upgrading the city. The way I play, oftentimes I'm just, you know, letting the game run. So I'm going to try to do that a little bit and see how it goes. And honestly, if I don't enjoy that, then, well, you know, we'll switch it up again. So the beauty of this is I'm just trying to do what seems to be fun, right? So, all right. Now, I promise my camera will slowly get better as city starts to populate, but because there's so much green on the screen right now, it seems to be washing me out a bit. So, all right, well, we've got complete flow now. You can come down here, you can cross this way, you can go out the city. This will bring you up this, which is going to bring us into our industrial part of town. We're going to go right up against the river's edge, which can be a little precarious, especially if you start getting flooding because of warming. So got to be a little cautious there. But anyways, we're here, and I'm not going to connect. Well, you know, I take that back. I am going to connect, and we'll see how that goes. So I may draw a bridge going over that instead. We may just go to about right here. I'm not so happy with outside connections so close to the edge like that. I'd rather giving the cars a little bit of runway. It helps with traffic control. So for now, we're just gonna go to here, and then we'll come right back all the way down. There we go. Okay, so now we've got up roads, down roads, plenty of room. Okay, now let's get the residential part going. So we're going to do a 3-lane, 1-lane road for the main part of residential, which, again, I'm going to bring folks into the city. We're going to calm down almost a mile, and then we're going to do the inroad this way into the residential section. I'm going to bring it all the way down to the edge of my square, come back down this way, trying to line up with this essentially. So we're right there. Now we're okay. So again, we're flowing, right? So all right, got a residential section. We've got our industry section. There's a little bit of a divider between residential and industry to hopefully help with the noise. And now let's get a simple 2-lane road coming off of here, which is going to be into our residential section. So we'll start about right here. We're going to come all the way to here, and then down, and then back over. Okay, and then off of there, we're going to go with even smaller roads to build our houses. So go right there to start. And we're going to grid this. Okay, so there's a down road. There's an up road. Okay, this is for services. You want services to be able to have paths to your Sims and not struggle with that, right? So, all right, so we've got up, we've got down. Now this will be a down road. Now, because of this, I'm going to convert this now. We'll do one more here. Do another up road in between. In fact, I think I'll alley that. So we'll do even a smaller one-way here. We'll do a little alley. Okay, that'll give us nice squares for some smaller homes. Okay, let's bring some Sims in here. So, theme-wise, I built a Southwest city, and I'm doing the North American theme. So, again, for now I'm going to stick with Southwest. It's just my favorite, and I think it's going to be really good for a one-way city. There's a lot of one-way streets in Phoenix, so we're going to see how that works out here. So, all right, let's get this laid out. We're going to go lots of housing out here to start, bringing in our Sims. We're going to give them places to work way over here.
The city will be experiencing rolling blackouts. We urge the public to remain calm during these breaks in service and to follow the guidelines on the city's website on how to plan for these temporary events. This has been a local public service announcement.
Recent spikes in demand have led to temporary local shortages in the city's fresh water supply. The public should be aware that we are struggling to get the situation in hand. This has been a local public service announcement.
Okay, we built a little deep though, so I'm going to have to pull this up a little bit.
Thank you for joining us here today at the
For now, I'm going to leave this alone. So I'm not going to
and I'm your host.
Build the whole farm out in here to start.
Up prices in the area.
I think we'll just build a half range.
Apparently, that's not all good news. We're joined today by an expert guest
Or maybe we'll just fix the issue here.
Professor. So a housing
All right, so as you see,
shortage
I've
is bad for the
kind of
people
goofed a
trying
little
to
bit,
move here,
and I
right?
built into my farm. So I'm gonna go ahead and just fix that. So and delete that. This has to stay.
For example, consider capital.
One final question, Professor.
We're gonna
Is
bring
the housing
this
shortage
up a
going
little
to make me
bit.
richer?
By certain metrics, perhaps yes, in the short
This up
term.
a
I
little
like
bit.
the sound of that.
But what we are discussing is the study of a statistical abstraction and,
And
its
then
effect
that up a little
on the
bit.
human
Thank you, Professor.
That should give us the extra room that we need.
Warm
Just
temperatures
make
across the
sure.
region
Nope,
today.
gonna have to go a
Hope
little bit
everybody
higher
out
up.
there has a good one.
So I want to maximize my industry here. All right, so right there. We're going just a little higher. There we go. All right. Now we can maximize that space. Let's bring that to a 3. Come down to here. And then over. I'm going to draw just a small road. We'll go here. So our main road will come down this way, but I'm going to drag it this way so that I can get more space. And then we'll bring in a small road and we'll go like this. Okay. Just like that. Should let me really maximize this space. Alright, so I'm gonna pull this out. Try to get the full circle. This way from the beginning, I've got a supply line set up, which will really support my city very well. Okay. Yeah, we're looking a lot better. Okay, so we had a little slow start there. But now we have our industry set. And we're going to bring people right back up. So you can come down to here. We'll swing you right back around. Make sure I pull out the stoplights from there eventually. This is our one-way road down. Okay, so farm is accessible. Water's accessible. Homes are getting built. Okay, we're gonna make places to work right down here. And then right here, we're gonna create a little bit of commercial. You like that big farm ring? Yeah. All right, Southwest Commercial, here we come. Okay, we got our big farm ring. We got industry popping down here. We're going to go ahead and connect, well, we're not going to connect this outside connection because I'm not going to drop a transformer just yet. Not yet. Okay, we're losing 1,500 an hour. Not too bad. increasing demand for homes. So we're going to start building, filling in the homes here with more southwest low density. Okay, so far so good. Kind of see everybody just sort of flows nicely. Does a really nice job in the one-way streets of dealing with move-in traffic. So, I tested this out briefly before getting started, and it's definitely going to be fun. Services are going to be my biggest challenge in dealing with services. Oh, look, a cereal mill. Because they have to travel so far due to the one-way streets. Districting and controlling services is going to be even a bigger challenge in the game, but I think that will ultimately give a better solution to traffic. So that's what I'm hoping. We will see. We'll see how far we can get here in the next half an hour. So in addition to cities, I've also been playing some, oh look, a tiny village. I've been playing some TFT lately. Another game I play. So I don't know if you play Teamfight Tactics, but it's a fun little game. And been playing a little bit of ranked lately, progressing towards gold. So you gotta have small goals sometimes. All right. So I think this road needs to be bigger because I need to come down here. There we go. That went up. So you'll notice this happens a lot. You have to provide outlets. So this obviously isn't okay, but you're not going to change the direction of that because then you're going to mess this up. So there's a lot of extra sort of extensioning of roads to make sure it's like water. So it's like you're constantly making the water flow, and the water being the traffic, right? So all right. Still demand is high with everything. That's great. Down to losing 588 an hour. Now, I still don't even have all my basic services set up, so we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves with how well the economy is doing. I still got to add the dump, a couple other things, but so far so good. We'll probably end up putting that landfill up in this area here, just to get it away from. So the way the wind is going to blow, it should be blowing towards me. Yeah. So I want that landfill to blow away from the city. So we're going to drop it over here. I'll need to add medical's normally the first thing that you have to add, followed by. I mean, if you get schooling out quick enough, you can kind of put off the police because smart sims tend to be less criminally inclined. But normally, you gotta bring in the police force pretty early on. You'll end up with. Have I noticed that education stats are off a bit since Colossal Order very last update? No, what did you notice with them being off? Let's look at the education stats. We're really early game. I don't even know if I can. Now they're not unlocked yet. Talk to me more about them being off. I don't do a lot of comparative analytics when it comes to the quality of the data that the game is delivering. I read up on it a little, but I just haven't had the desire to critically deep dive into it too much. You know, I just play the game for the most part and work with whatever it is. So, but no, talk to me about education stats. I'm always interested in knowing what the bugs are so that I can be aware of them when they happen. You don't think so? I think Ice Flake needs a little bit of time to do that. You don't like the releases, huh? I think that the latest releases seem to have really improved the performance of the game, don't you? You don't think it's working better for you? I mean, I know it is for me, so, but everybody's computer is different, so certainly if you're not experiencing the same improvements, that's too bad. We're gonna expand our little one-way, so I'm not gonna, so this is gonna be an up street. One more down. Oh, baker and confectionery. That's our down. Okay, we got good housing. Oh, look, we're making money. $2.11 an hour. Let's mark that on the stream there. Not bad for what's that? Half an hour into the game, we balanced out our economy. It's not bad. I am going to go with advanced road services here because I am going to take out some streetlights. I think you're going to be happier, Dustin. So, all right, this one here, totally unnecessary. This one, totally unnecessary. We're just taking these out. They're one-way roads, so we shouldn't need these to start with. Other cities supplying educated workers to highest education, but limited uneducation. Oh, yes. So okay, so in general, the way that other cities are supplying your city needs some work. So I think that's a nuance of the bug, which I'm not surprised is happening at all. Another thing I've seen is, like, for example, when you import city services, so it's not unlocked for me yet, but one of the city policies that you can unlock is the ability to import other city services. You can't choose what to import, though. So, like, if you turn that on, you sometimes end up importing city services that you don't need. And then you end up paying for it, which impacts your income. So there is definitely something with the way that other cities are importing. Now, I haven't tested this fully, but we can. So the theory is other cities are only exporting high-educated workers, but not low-educated workers. My question is, what are you doing to bring the low-educated workers in? So have people set, like, for example, have they sent a bus with a $0 bus fare from one of the other cities to, like, their city? Like have folks done that? Have they created the environment so that the low income sim is encouraged? Have they done those things? I imagine they have if they're claiming that the bug is. But that would be the first thing that I would do, is I would, and I probably will do. So I think it's a fun thing to talk about, right? Like the stuff of the game that needs to be improved. And certainly import needs to be improved. So, Dustin, we'll test that out, okay, at some point. We'll see if we can focus on importing some workers from other cities that are lower educated. I mean, a higher educated worker is going to seek employment versus a lower educated worker is going to wait for employment. So
the musicologist session.
Maybe that's by design. I don't know.
Mailbag to see what's been keeping you musical
Could
hours
be.
awake at night.
I don't know. We're gonna find out. So
let's see.
that's a good one to look at.
Deal is,
I'm confident with where Ice Flake is taking.
And I was surprised by the fact
And I don't know that this game can go anywhere unless something else comes along that is a better option. Are you familiar of another city builder that is equivalent to this one? I've played a couple different city builders, and while there's some interesting prospects on the horizon, I don't know that I've seen anything that on this level of scale compares. You like to keep base fees to $4 max. I mean, but for an uneducated worker, that may need to be 0. Because, you know, an uneducated worker, they may not be able to afford $4. I mean, that's just it, right? So I don't know. I think it's an interesting conversation point. All right, I'm gonna extend this out a little bit this way so I can start prepping the dump, and I think we're gonna go with 2, and we're gonna come to about, well, I'm gonna go to the edge because my intent is to put a bridge over this. So my intent is to put a bridge like this. So just like that, and then another one just like that. This way we got it going both ways. Go back to the ground. Okay, but we're gonna go down to just a single lane. Okay. And then we're here. Same situation, starting about right there. Maybe. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. Curve it a little bit. All right, small village. Even $1 per route is low enough to at least recover a tiny bit of transit operating costs. Well, right, but I think with some sims, if they're low income, you're not gonna, you have to eat the operating costs. You essentially recover that operating cost through wealthier sims paying taxes, more or less. I think that's where it lands to is, I mean, and again, I don't know. I haven't tested it at all, but if you were to ask me my strategy, or what strategy I would use to bring low-income sims into the city, that's what I would use. All right, I'm going to slow down the sim a little bit here. Look, we've got a medical issue to start with. Remember I said that the first service I'd need is more than likely going to be medical. Okay, so need to position medical in a way that it can respond to start with to both sides of the city. And again, you have to really consider length of service with all these one-way roads. So I'm going to look at this one-way road here. Okay, and I'm going to drag it down. All right, so there's that. Now this is going to be the road where I'm going to place the service. Okay, so we're there. And then I'm going to put a little connector right here so that it can get back around. And I'm going to start with a Southwest Medical Clinic, I think. Let's see. Oh, 10 upkeep. This is 23 ambulances, though, which is really nice. And we're Southwest themed. I can't fit in there. We can fit here, huh? But we won't be able to get down Gardenia Street. So you can really see where my lacking of connection is at the moment. I'm going to need to probably put a connection here to bring us back to the freeway so we can get down Gardenia Street. Just something to keep in mind, that if I had an incident on Gardenia, I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. All right, we've also got a lot of traffic coming down this road right now, so I'm going to put this here. And then we're going to go with, I'm going to try the one-way alley. Okay, so we're going to go here, here, here. See how that does. Yeah, there's a couple oddities the way that the alignments are going, and I'm doing that because I'm trying to see what I can to sort of contour a bit, although not very successful. But yeah, there's if you look at this map, it's not really straight, right? It's a little curvy. So I'm trying to go with that a little, but everything looks okay flow-wise, right? Let's see here.
I think your strategy too, and I think it makes up for the small fees as long as you always keep up with high school capacity so they can earn money.
We lack very low educated workers at the start. Yep, that's true. I think the other thing with low educated workers is you have to make sure that you give them the right housing, right? So you have to upgrade to high density at some point, or put low rent housing into play. So, all right, let's see here. So we got medical, it's in. We're a little here, but again, that was sort of intentional to go with the curve of the game here. And then where are we with this medical response? Are we responding yet? Yep, 2 of 3 are in use. They're dispatched. Okay. So, again, I want to be able to do something about this. And the way to address that is going to be by adding a on into here. So we're going to go to here. And go to 3. Pull that down a little ways. I think maybe I'll align it with this. We're going to give that a try, see how it goes. So we've got 3 turning into 2. Yeah, it's a recipe for disaster. Let's convert that. All right, now we got 2 into 2. I can live with that. Yep.
Hi guys, Liz here. Loving those harmonies.
Okay, I can live with
Let's
that.
keep the mojo going and queue up
That
for the
should
next
help our
Don't touch that
connection.
dial.
It does. We are
A
full
housing
healthcare
shortage is
coverage
driving up
now.
prices.
Hooray.
That's right, Glenda. But apparently that's not
You can
all
do the
good news.
Yeah, so
We're
again, the
going
next thing I do here, right? So I've brought a
Professor
service in that's costing me
Welcome,
$3,000 an
Professor.
hour
So
that I
a
don't need,
housing
right?
shortage is bad
So
for the
a couple
people
things I'm going to
trying
do.
move,
First off,
right?
electricity,
Humans are
I boost,
programmed to desire
and I
certain
charge
representations within ideological
all
groups,
the way to 12.
which are entirely
Okay,
apart from
'cause
the
you don't
actual
lose any,
rewards enjoyed.
you
For
lose little efficiency in the
example,
company. You lose
consider
1%.
Right, one final
But you also
question,
lose
Professor.
consumption
Is
at
the
6%.
housing shortage going to make me richer?
You know, I'm going to switch that.
By certain metrics, perhaps yes,
do
in
like
the
this.
short
There we
term.
go.
I
All
love
right,
the
we'll
sound
do
of
1/10.
that.
What we are
10%.
discussing is the
Water
study
goes
of
to 108.
statistical abstraction and its effect
Okay.
on the human.
Thank
Healthcare,
you,
I drop
Professor.
to
It is
50.
a question of priorities.
Warm temperatures.
And that
across the region
saves,
today.
as you
Hope
see, a ton of
everybody
money
out
because
there
a
has
city
good one.
of 503 people do not need a full Southwest Clinic center. I'm going to go ahead and drop the remaining of my required mods, or my required services, so that I can, I'm going to put this one right here. This is just a whole landfill area. Yeah, everybody hates a landfill, I get it. Okay, so with our landfill here, it's one of our primary services covered. We also need a police force, and I want a grade school. And that should give us what we need. And you know what, I may do a transformer so I can export electricity. So let's see here. Let's do a transformer. And do a normal one to start with. Okay, so we're gonna put a transformer right here. And I normally bury these, but it's so close. We might as well do it the normal way. Oh, we can't. That's hilarious. There we go. Okay. So we got a little transformer station out here now. That lets me like export electricity. I am going to go ahead and upgrade my power to an advanced system. Now I should be able to export everything. What about a half trumpet to the entrance and exit of the true city? Oh yeah, you're thinking along the same lines I am. That's not a bad idea at all. I'm probably a little early, but yes, I'm with you. Okay, let's drop this cereal mill right here. I'm gonna make it easier for the cereal mill to get its delivery, so we're gonna put the cereal mill here. And then also we got the baker's place, so we're gonna put that here. As the baker isn't? Nope. That's UK. There it is. Baker and confectory. That's gonna go on the wall here. I can go here though. We'll have big trucks coming down this along with all heavy traffic, but it should be okay. Can always move it later. Alright, so there's the bakery. How can folks get across the street? They have to go all the way up here, go this way. Yeah, we're gonna need another cross. So I'm gonna put another one in right here. It's gonna go all the way, I think. We'll see how this does for traffic. If it messes things up, then I'll change it later. But to start the game, we're gonna put it here. Again, I'm taking out the stoplights, but this crossing here we may dump later if it ends up causing too much of a problem, or I may just upgrade it to a medium intersection just to. See if that helps. Give us a little guaranteed flow in what's going to eventually be a really heavy traffic area of my map. Okay. Let's add some more people. I think it's time for some more medium housing. I'm going to try these. I don't have a lot of success with with this style of home, but we're going to give those a try. And I'm going to put them way out here. Now, I need to redraw my main line here down before I do that. And we're going to make that a little larger once we get to here. down to a small road. Then back up to a medium. Okay. Right, now some more, like I said, a combination of the medium density, which is what I wanted to put here. See if they'll show nice. If they don't, then I'll get rid of them. And then, of course, low density homes, which are going to go here and out here. All right, let's bring in some more commercial, and then that will start improving our money loss situation. Parks are probably next on the menu. Increase the beautification of the city. Gonna monitor electricity at 10 watts, so 2.3 is what I'm using, which means I'm gonna be exporting a little bit. Yep, there it goes. We have an abundance of electricity. Exporting the excess to the outside world. So far, yep, may need roundabouts, may need all sorts of things. Not quite yet. Right now, we're keeping everything straight because all the roads are straight. The points where I'm going to keep my biggest eye are here and down here. Those are the two places on the map where will be my first signs of trouble. Everywhere else should really flow just fine. The other thing will be services. We're going to have to keep an eye on services to make sure that we can afford everything, or not afford everything, to make sure that we don't end up with service islands because of the way that services are set up. Okay. All right, let's get a school down. So let's put the school here. Still within walking distance. And you know what? I'm going to raise it up a little. This way it's easier for the walking to school. Walking distance to school is important. Sims will walk to school if given the opportunity, and they get a bonus for walking to school. So important to set up the ability to walk to school. Okay, good. We're expanding. We're going to drop some more low density homes there. And some more commercial out here. This is what I mean by they don't always fit well. Oh, is that a Southwest style? It is. So it does not like the way that it's lined up. I wonder if I can fix that. Let's give it a try. These are the bugs I'd like to see fixed. Now we'll see. Sometimes you can just fix this. Yes? No? Won't work? It says no. Okay. Well, we're going to try to solve this by we're going to create a small park right where it is. That's how I solve a lot of nuances like this in the game where, you know, I can't control the way that the asset is being registered by the simulation. But what I can do is I can add parks. Maybe I can't add parks. I'm not big enough yet, am I? No. Okay, so we can't add parks. Well, we could do something about Bellflower. I mean, I could eliminate Bellflower Lane. Or I could draw a small street through there, like a really small one. Like a one-way alley. There you go. I know, but all right, there's no light there, right? Nope. All right, well, Pinehurst Lane went down where we had our, so we'll ever remember that Pinehurst Lane had to go down to replace our problematic home. That's what happens if you complain too much. We'll just get rid of your home. All right, so we're close here on... So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to bring us to a place where we are breaking even with max services, and then that's going to be it for today. Let's bring out a Southwest-style police station, though, just so that we can... We'll do it the same way I did there. It's going to go right here. Like that. And we're going to use that one-way alley again. Okay. Probably need basic fire. Though I oftentimes will not do basic fire. I'll hold off on fire for a long time because, I mean, we can suffer a few buildings. Don't burn your stuff down. Don't light things on fire. You have to let the city run for a time anyways. Yeah, eventually I will, but I mean we're still in the position where we're building. We don't have enough Sims yet in the city to support all the services that I've laid down because I've laid down some heavy infrastructure. The other thing I need to do is reduce costs of some services. So let's do that. So back to services, we're going to look at garbage management. That needs to be at 50. Education also drops to 50. Fire and rescue drops to 50. Police administration stops to 50. Okay, so I'd forgotten to do that. Absolutely a critical thing to do early on in your city creation. Do I have Southwest? I do. Okay, and the last service will be fire station, which I'm going to put here. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. There's our fire station. Only losing 200 an hour. Bring in some more commercial. Yes, water towers are cheaper. There's no doubt, but they're less efficient. And then they become something that you have to update early on. So, way I've built this city by no means is the cheapest way to start a city. It just happens to be my preferred method of starting a city. Even wind turbines are not, you know, the best thing to start off with.
Bringing you the freshest tunes.
You can import power for a lot less than the cost of wind turbines to start. So that's another place you can go the other way, is say no turbines, you know, just import your power. So absolutely, and the video I did on that like explains like how you can, save money, but. All right, here I'm going to go with just alleys. So we're going to go this way. And then to here.
So a housing shortage is bad.
And then we're going to go
trying to move here, right?
This way.
A program to desire certain representations within ideological rewards.
And we're going to see.
Entirely apart from the actual rewards enjoyed. For example, consider capital.
So you see, some of the houses are getting affected just because of the land underneath. When you drop a road, it affects the contour of the map, and so that can affect the home. All right, let's drop this down here.
And its effect
no, that's a
Thank you,
upstreet,
Professor.
It is a question
so
of
upstreet.
We've recently
Downstream.
been having what some are calling the worst kind of luck there is. That's right. Today we are talking about the increased likelihood that you'll die.
that's not exactly what an increased definite measures.
Wrong
Either
style.
way, if everybody is dying, that gives me the creeps.
That's a wild overstatement.
There we go.
Are you trying
All
to
right.
make people panic?
Pam, did you say panic? She said panic. The death rate is skyrocketing.
Down
We
to
gotta get out of
50,000.
You go, I'll stay and clear up the mess.
But here it comes.
We'll be back after this.
So we're scraping the bottom of
the region today. It's quite a heat wave out there. Moms,
of money,
sure the
but
kids get
luckily
out in the sunshine
we are
on
moving in a
the
ton of
sunscreen,
Sims,
folks, and remember to
and
stay
we're going to give them
hydrated.
jobs.
It's gonna be a
So
Sure
I bet
am.
unemployment is high.
AC.
15%. Yep, because I don't have much industry laid down. So here comes the industry. We're going to drop that like this. Hopefully really close to the supply line. Okay. All that industry should cover us. So there we go. All right. So we are a large village, all one way. Services are going to settle out, and this city is ready for whatever ultimately we want to turn it into. I'm going to conclude the stream pretty soon, and when I do, I'll post this city out on my Paradox mod site. So just search Raduk on the Paradox mod site. You'll be able to pull up this city. Then if you want to continue it and see how far you can get before my next stream, cool. I will not be playing this city until my next stream. So it'll be interesting if you do take the city a little further and then see what decisions I make the following stream, see how close they are to what you did, and see how much better your decisions are compared to mine. And then we'll kind of keep this thing going. So you'll see that we're just on the edge of services right now. That's why we've got a little bit of delay in that. So the first thing I'll probably improve will be medical when it comes to the amount of budgeting that I'm doing towards that service, right? So when I say that, this is where I will go first before I touch anything else. So before I add another medical building, before I do anything like that, I will mess with the taxation of the services. So yeah, so we're looking really good. 3,000 an hour to start. So kind of like what you mentioned there, Dustin, we're going to need to let the city run for a little while here, build that money back up, going to export some power, going to monitor things and make sure that I don't end up with service gaps as the city kind of grows on its own. I'll modulate that up, and then we'll take it from there. So hey, I want to thank you for coming by today, and thank you for hanging out with me this morning. My intent is to start doing a weekly stream again on Saturday mornings. Saturday morning my time, which may be evening where you are. But my intent is to do this once a week. That seems to fit best within my schedule and something that I should be able to commit to. So if you enjoyed the content today, you can look forward to it happening again about this same time next week. Most of you here are my subscribers, so thanks a lot for subscribing and sticking with me. Appreciate you guys liking and sharing my content. I am slowly growing my partnership back, so it's been fun. It's been fun to kind of revive my my YouTube streaming stuff again now that I've got a little bit more time to do that. So I'm glad that you're able to be part of the journey here. So I'm adding things back slowly. I went ahead and flipped on my camera today. Hopefully that didn't end up being too disturbing for you. And yeah, so I'm gonna save this city out, and it will then be shared. So we're gonna overwrite that save right there, that was the city that I started with on my own time, so I've now replaced it with this one. And then we'll go ahead and, like I said, I'll share it out after my stream. So, all right. Well, thanks again for coming by. Take care. Oh, great. Zill, will thank you for coming by, and we'll see you next week. And take care, everybody. I hope you have a nice week, and thanks again for watching. Bye now.